There's a fight going on. A real old school brouhaha, a round of fisticuffs going on. And I feel like the child of divorced parents. I'm just sitting there in between the argument, watching it fly back and forth. Because I am a fan of everything that's involved, but it's basically two different fan groups that are just slinging, they're like monkeys throwing their own shit at each other, right? That's kind of what's happening. And I would just like to explain why all of these beliefs happen in an attempt to diffuse any future feces flying around the room that I happen to be sitting directly in the middle of. This all starts with the Trent Alexander goal. The Trent Alexander, can't forget the second half of the hyphen. The Trent Alexander-Arnold goal in the FA Cup, which was, it was a nice goal, right? Pretty lazy defense. Right, not particularly energetic closing down. He bangs the ball in, and then it looks like the away section or whatever, a section of fans that are not rooting for Liverpool is sitting behind it. So nobody's really cheering, and it's not a big celebration from Trent Alexander-Arnold either. He scores a beautiful goal and then just kind of trots off. It's safe to say that if you don't understand soccer, if you I'm going to refer to it in my native tongue here, like if you don't understand soccer, this is not a ringing endorsement of the sport. And I realize for a lot of you, right, the vast majority of people that probably watch this channel, you grew up in a world where soccer was always king. You call it football or foosball or, calcio, whatever the hell you call it. It was always king. Maybe there's another sport. Maybe there's cricket. Maybe there's rugby. I don't know. But there's always football for you. And that was the pinnacle of sport. And that was like when you talked about professional sports and athletes, and that was what you were talking about. I grew up in a world where that is not true. I grew up in a world where soccer is an acquired taste, much the same way that maybe rugby or cricket is for where you grow up or where you happened to grow up. Right? It is something that you actually have to seek out, that you have to learn. The rules are not things that you just know all of your lives. There was a point in my life where I had somebody explain to me the offside rule. And that point was when I was way older than a lot of you probably were. I'm not talking like 16, all right? But when I was playing FIFA at 10 or 11 years old, I was trying to understand the offside rule. I didn't really understand it. It didn't make a lot of, it didn't make a lot of sense to me. I didn't really learn it until I played soccer in middle school. So I would have been, 11. Maybe 12, that I had that rule explained to me. And it took a lot longer for me to understand the concept of promotion and relegation, to understand the concept of professional sports pyramids. All of this stuff was acquired by me over time, thanks to coaches and friends and FIFA and you guys on stream and everything, and Football Manager and all that other stuff. But it's a world that exists outside the sporting world of most of the rest of the world, in which soccer is not king. It is just another sport. And it is another sport that is viewed as a foreign sport in the United States. It just is. It's viewed as a foreign sport. It is becoming more and more domestic, but part of the reason it's viewed as a foreign sport is because the rest of the world pretends that it has ownership of it, which it doesn't. It doesn't. It's a sport. As long as you can roll the ball out and play within the rules of the sport, it doesn't have ownership of it. The United States doesn't get offended with Giannis Antetokounmpo wins MVP in the in the NBA, even though he's Greek, or Nikola Jokic from Serbia wins the MVP in the NBA, even though he's Serbian, or Luka Doncic plays incredibly well, even though he's Slovenian. Basketball has grown a lot, obviously, in certain parts of Europe, and that is awesome. But the United States doesn't froth at the mouth that Japan is playing baseball wrong, right? The World Baseball Classic, or that the Dominican Republic is playing baseball wrong, or Colombia, or Venezuela, or Panama, right? Or South Korea, or Taiwan, that they're playing baseball wrong, right? But there is a dynamic around soccer that that the United States just like can't participate in. But it goes both ways, okay? And let me tell you exactly what kicked this off. Somebody, like a Twitter account of some discernment, not massive, but, an opinion Twitter account, quoted the Trent Alexander-Arnold goal and said, such a boring sport, my God. Because if you don't know anything about soccer, if you don't know the lore, the history, what it can be. In this clip and a couple of other clips of flops and whatever are the only things you've ever seen from the sport. It looks boring. This clip, particularly by itself, looks boring. And the way to handle this is the way that I handle this sort of thing all the time. Anytime somebody goes, soccer's boring, and I'm like, yeah. But people that live in the UK that don't understand the NFL, they think it's boring because they don't know what's going on. And it's the same thing for you where you think soccer's boring because you don't know what's going on. And that's fine. But it's insisting that somebody else's sport sucks. Let's be honest. No sport actually sucks if that many people are watching it. You know what sucks? Probably professional pickleball because there's not a lot of people watching it. Although I'm sure if you showed me some highlights of professional pickleball, I'd be like, damn, that shit's crazy. Right? But if soccer is played in so many freaking countries and watched in so many countries, it's not like because the rest of the world's so dumb they can't discover fire, right? Like the moment they discover basketball, they're going to leave soccer behind forever. No, clearly soccer, football, whatever you call it, wherever you are, is an amazing sport. That's what people like this don't understand. They can't seem to wrap their mind around that, right? A lot of people struggle to admit they don't understand something. There's that great old Greek quote that the more I learn, the less I understand, right? The more I learn, the more I realize I have left to learn is basically the idea. Understanding that you don't know something. I don't know why, especially in the social media age, people would rather just shit on something than just say, don't understand it. Because if you don't want to take the time to learn soccer, you don't care, that's fine. It also doesn't make the sport boring and it sucks. Now, there are a lot of funny responses to this. Like the back and forth is hilarious. First of all, the guy commented to it is like, Europeans are like moths. Yes. If you go on the internet and say anything like this, Europeans are going to show up in droves. You have somebody responding to it and saying, this is as electric as it gets. That is an excellent sign that these people have no idea what they're talking about. So you shouldn't take their opinion seriously if you're somebody that's actually getting offended by this. Because no, an early round FA Cup goal in a match that clearly isn't of dramatic and big importance, right, is not as electric as it gets. It's just not. Another one, it's sad. The reason a lot of people like soccer is because it's the easiest sport to understand. No complex defense or offense, just run and kick. Also an incredibly stupid take. If it's that easy, then do it. Those guys are making more money than anybody in the NBA, than anybody in the NFL, anybody in MLB, right? If you can be the best in the world at this, just run and kick, dude. Go do it. It's that easy, right? NFL clears by infinity. It's not true. As somebody that loves American football, I am not even kidding. I'm watching NFL on that monitor right now while I'm recording this. I am watching the playoffs on that monitor while I'm recording this video. I fucking love football of all kinds. Anything you call football, I'm down. I want to watch it. NFL does not clear soccer by infinity. Why is the crowd so dry? Another piece of evidence that you just don't understand what's going on here. And you also have somebody responding like nobody outside the U.S. plays football, basketball, baseball, ice hockey because they're boring, illustrating that you think a sport is boring if you do not understand it. But shout out to this response, which was literally just utter yank nonsense, which I'm stealing that. I bookmark it. I bookmarked it. I'm going to use that in a reply to a tweet somewhere. That is just really, really funny. And then somebody quoted this tweet, such a boring sport, with, I made it enjoyable for you obese Americans. And it's literally just like a McDonald's commercial over where Trent Alexander-Arnold is shooting from, which A+ chirp. And as somebody that travels the world a lot, there is only one region that I have been to that does not have the ability to land this chirp, and that is the United Kingdom. Now, fortunately for Thomas, it says, I think that they're actually from Bavaria or something. Like, I think that they're just a Bayern Munich fan in Germany, in which case, yeah, Germany is way skinnier than the United States. Have at it, brother. The only country I've been to that I won't take the fat slander from is the UK, right? But look, everybody here may die at 65, but our food tastes better. It goes hand in hand. We made a deal with the devil. That's how it works. Okay? We made a conscious decision to eat shit that tastes great, but takes years off your life. This is an dude. This is this was an absolutely sensational comeback. But the core of this conversation is that people everywhere else in the world don't understand that the United States has a strong sports culture, right? And has a grassroots sports culture, particularly around college sports. But, you know, go to a freaking Buffalo Bills game in the NFL and tell me, though, that those aren't some of the best fans you're going to find anywhere in the world. They're freaking jumping through flaming tables while tailgating, right? Also, tailgating in general. Don't know, like, you guys got to try tailgating sometime if you're not from the U.S. It is awesome. Nothing like setting up in a parking lot and grilling some meats and drinking some beers right outside the stadium. It's a great way to do it. But this shit throwing discourse between U.S. sports fans and European or, you know, non-American sports fans. And if you're one of those people that's like, I am American, I'm from Argentina, shut up. Okay, like that drives me absolutely insane, because if I start going if I refer to Lionel Messi as American in a video without providing any context, I will be raked over the coals and tarred and feathered. So we're just going to live with the fact that when I get asked on a visa application what my nationality is and I select American, they're not like, gee, are you from Costa Rica? You know, like, so let's just chill with that. It's okay. But this American v. non-American sports conversation is dumb, because honestly, what would solve all of it is if you took these Americans and took them to I want to say even a non-league match and showed them that experience, they would think it was awesome. And if you took these non-Americans that are involved in this conversation and, you know, think it's boring and Americans are fat, their sporting culture sucks, and you took them to an Iron Bowl, which is the college football rivalry in Alabama between Alabama and Auburn, everybody would think everybody's stuff was cool. And everybody would have a great time and be drunk and happy and eating fried food, and life would be great. Why can't we all just get together? Or more importantly, why can't we just not shit on something that we clearly don't understand? Because I live in an enlightened state where I'm able to enjoy sports all year round, because I love American sports like baseball, basketball, hockey, football, Canada, hockey. And I enjoy soccer. I enjoy football. And so I'm just watching great sports all year round. More people need to join. More people need to join me on that. It's a great way to be. I hate to see friends fighting like this.